Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video to show you Frollo. Frollo is a new character from the Hunchback that we just got added via the Hunchback Tower, and today we're going to take a look at what his kit really does. I currently have him at Gear 8 Star 3, which means he's very squishy, but his damage is already quite high. So I'm going to show you what his kit does in just a quick little video. So first of all, his basic. His basic is get them, and he calls a non-summoned villain teammate to assist, and he prioritizes the one with the highest offense. So if you can pinpoint a villain and give him offense up, that's the one that's going to assist. In addition to that, he also summons an archer or Quasimodo teammate to assist. Currently I have no villains in this club dungeon match, but he will call Quasimodo to assist when I use it, and if I would have an archer summoned from his second special, he would also call that one to assist. Note that he only calls either the archer or Quasimodo to assist and not both. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't have any allies, he hits something himself and he deals a decent amount of damage and inflicts continuous damage over 2 turns. Note that the continuous damage is actually not a chance, it is guaranteed if he attacks. Usually, however, you have a villain or an archer or Quasimodo when you run this guy, because I don't see much reason to run Frollo if you don't do either of those 3, although his silence on his first special is very good. So let's take a look at that first special, Smite the Wicked. He deals a significant amount of damage, 6k, and he has decent crit powers, but crits can go up to 14k already right now at Star 3. He inflicts silence for 1 turn and he flips 2 helpful effects. So what you're going to see if you run Frollo with a Tower 3 Speedstone and he manages to go first is that he's going to purge Baymax from his taunt, or rather flip it to continuous damage and silence him. So basically Baymax will be out of action for a while. The problem right now is that if you put a Speedstone on Frollo and they run an Ursula, the Ursula will steal speed from Frollo and therefore he will not go first. Frollo has 135 base speed, and together with a Speedstone and Shan Yu lead, he has the highest speed in a game outside of Hero and Gogo, I believe. So he will definitely be targeted by Ursula. So I believe in the future, when he's not as squishy as he is right now at 3-star, you might run in with an offense stone to dodge that Ursula speed steal, and then bring him later for a very hard strike with this and to take out and silence an opponent. Frollo's passive is that whenever a villain, a kingdom villain, does a negative effect on someone, that he gains a stack of fury. And once he gets 10 fury, 5 fury, he can consume it and deal bonus damage with his attack and make it unavoidable, so it goes through evades. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you save this ability for later, it becomes strong and unavoidable, which can be nice. I expect, however, you want to use this ability fast to use the silence and flip early. His third ability is a lot of text, so let me just summarize a few. He summons archers. Depending on how far you upgrade it, he summons more or less archers. Let's just do it now. So I only have it at rank 3, I believe, so he summons 2 archers. If you upgrade it to rank 4, he summons 3 archers, and these archers instantly fill up their speed meter. What this means is that if an enemy has Hercules, Hercules has a chance to start hitting up these archers immediately, and they will fill an enemy beast with 100% speed meter, which is rather unfortunate. You can, however, use this to your advantage as well. If they have a beast and you have a beast and you summon this, both your beasts get the turn meter, probably before the rest of their team, so you can get your taunts up early. Obviously, it depends on the coin flip which beast goes first, if they both have 100% speed meter, but that's an entire other story. Now these archers have 3 abilities and they go fast because the speed meter fills instantly. It's just a basic, deals extra damage if they have a continuous damage effect. They have You'll Pay for That, which deals damage 3 times. Because it deals damage 3 times, you'll find that it gets a lot of its damage reduced by defense and defense up. So this doesn't hit hard, but you have a chance to inflict continuous damage. Let's just use that ability. Here in the club dungeon, obviously it deals a significant amount of damage. If used against a tank in PvP arena with Frollo at 3 stars, it deals roughly 800 damage a hit. So you're going to get about 2.4k damage out of this if it doesn't crit. Then their second special is deal damage to target opponent and inflict tenacity down. Now I'm going to show you that. Hopefully they survive. They don't. But If they would survive, they will get a debuff which says 50% tenacity down. Now for those who don't know, tenacity is the stat that makes people resist your negative effects. And I don't think this is going to be that relevant in PvP or in normal PvE. However, in raids, if you manage to throw the tomato at a boss and give them 50% tenacity down, you're going to find that all your harmful effects are going to land quite easily on the boss. Now let's make Quasi quickly go back and pass the turn back to Frollo. So why the tenacity down is good is as follows, because if you run Frollo and you take his leadership, which we did right now, you also see that for each continuous damage effect an opponent has on them, they gain less defense, tenacity, and offense. You can stack it up to 5, and I believe if you upgrade the leadership, you can make the defense down and tenacity down go up even higher. So it's up to a stack of max of 5, so right now you could reduce tenacity by 25%, but I think you can push it to, I don't know for sure, near 50% again, or about 35%. So basically you can reduce the tenacity of raid bosses by 85% together with the tomato ability from your archers. What that means is that harmful effect teams can suddenly land their effects on bosses really well. And I think that whatever raid is coming can really use this tenacity down. So while these characters weren't tagged to be raid specific, there's a good chance they are raid specific or made with a raid in mind, and that these are going to be very good. Similarly, hold on, let me close Discord. And because they're kingdom, I'm still starting to hope that either the evil queen from Snow White or Maleficent will be the next raid. But that aside, they will be good in raids, and this will be a team that lands all their effects and speed steals. So that's going to be really good. Now, back to Frollo. So I gave magic back, so now we have the archer ability back up. Normally, you probably don't run him with Merlin to give the magic back. But if Frollo gains more stacks of, let me scroll down, the Fury, especially if he hits 10 Fury, then he gains magic back for both of his abilities. And that's important because this archer ability, if you activate it again while there are archers, he will make the archers shoot 2 volleys of arrows on the enemy and make them assist. Now he only makes them assist if he has 5 Fury, but he will definitely make sure that they shoot twice. So right now you see it deals about 3k damage, and it will do that twice. So it's rather in the style of Namari, you have arrows flying at the enemy doing damage twice. If Frollo is at high star level, has offense up, or these characters have offense up, they're going to do a significant amount of damage here. What's also important to note is that these archers can be adjacent. So if you have an Amari here, which can give offense up to everything around her, you can also boost these archers quite easily with an offense up. And if you have a Shen Yu lead and kill something, all kingdom characters, these are kingdom villains as well, have a chance to get the offense up as well. Now let's see if we can actually land the tomato here to show you the... Nope, that's a nice crit. Okay, we're just going to move on, see if we can get the turn back to Frollo to show off his first special. Just going to use the heal here. Let's speed it up a little bit. Of course, we're going to stun Frollo. We'll get there. Okay, so what you saw there is Frollo hit the 10 Fury, and I have his passive upgraded so that when he hits the 10 Fury, he's going to get guaranteed crit up, and he will also gain some speed meter from getting the 10 Fury. He sort of empowers right now. Let's see. Do this. And let's give that. Let's just do this. So we can give the turn back in a moment. Nice, we got some extra enemies to show you the abilities of. So, Smite to Wicked. Attack a target, silence it, flip 2 helpful effects to continuous damage. So it clears taunt and it silences. If you can get Frollo to go first in the game, you can use it on the Baymax, and the Baymax is basically out of action for most of the game, and then you can use whatever you have coming next to control the rest of your enemy team. What it does is that if you have 5 Fury, it deals more bonus damage, which we have right now, and it will consume that Fury. So let's see how much damage we can do. So that was 15k crit with the 30% extra bonus damage, and that's at star 3. He didn't have an offense up, so what you can already see is that he's going to do a large amount of damage in PvP Arena. I'm going to quickly wrap up this game because we basically talked about most of his abilities now. Still no tomato to land. Let's use his archer ability again. Now he has 8 fury. You'll see that the archers shoot their volley and they will assist. So the assist is separate from the volley, you see. And what you also notice that you can't summon more archers as long as there is an archer alive. So what that means is that if you want more than 2 archers, you basically need to upgrade his ability. So let's take a quick look at that. Again, he's gear 8, star 3. Here are the stats if you're curious. So decent chunk of offense, really good crit power, and no evasion. That's something to note. So for people trying to counter Thrall, you can counter him quite easily by just focusing him. He won't evade your stuff randomly. And obviously, if an enemy is Esmeralda and they use Feast of Fools, he'll get charmed, which is pretty much a hard counter to him if you would run him with an offense stone rather than a speed stone. And to show you the stats without the speed stone, for those interested, you see that his base speed is 135, which is incredibly high. Together with this speed stone and the Shan Yu lead, you're going to hit, let me calculate that quickly for you. So let's do the 155 times 1.12 for the 12% speed meter. You get 173.6 speed, which makes him just a little bit slower than Hero. Hero is still faster than Frollo with the lead by about 4 or 5 speed. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now let's take a quick look at the things I did not upgrade yet. So here you go. If you upgrade the basic further, you will call an additional archer to assist. Can be quite significant, so I'll definitely upgrade that when I have Frollo a bit higher health. Let's see, Smite the Wicked. You can upgrade it so that when you defeat an opponent, it will spread continuous damage from that target to adjacent opponents. Now this, I'm going to presume that whatever legendary is coming soon, or whatever raid villain is coming soon, is going to be all about continuous damage. And this guy, you'll want to run him slower than that target, wait for him to put on the continuous damage, and then finish it off with Frollo to spread it over their entire team. This is going to happen, and you can probably already use this in a team with maybe Fred, where Fred can protect him. You might even run the hero lead and then some other continuous damage folks, and this will be really good. And then to the archers, if you upgrade it, you summon an additional archer. That is significant. I haven't tested yet, but I believe these archers are kingdom villains, so they can proc pain and panic. Then we have the passive still. You can upgrade it so that you get more speed meter when he hits the 10 fury stacks. So right now against 15%, you can make that to 20%, and you can see on activation he already gains 1 guaranteed crit. And finally, Leader of the World. So here we see how much tenacity you can do. So you can add another 2%. So you can put it, you can get, what is it? You can get 35% extra tenacity down. Combine it with the tomato throw of your archers for 50%. You can get 85% tenacity down. That's really significant, especially in raids. So good stuff altogether. I don't know if this interacts with harmful immunity. Now to finish it up, let's jump into a quick arena match, see how we hold up. I'm just running the full Kingdom Villains setup here, which is probably not the best setup. You presumably want to run Ursula here, but let's just see what we can do. Let's swap in the Ursula. We'll probably lose, but you can see how the turns play out if you have an Ursula. Generally, you will find that Hero still goes before both Ursula and Frollo, especially if they run. Of course, we get a bot, but especially if they run Ursula. So if Ursula go first because of the speed steal. Now I'm running him with time free speed stone because he will go as one of the first characters and make sure that he gets his ability off, which again is only important here because he's so squishy. His walk animation is really slow. Now I think if you have Run Frollo as with an offense stone, you might want to get the archers up first, depending on how the taunts are looking. What you can also see is that he gains fury super fast. Whenever speed gets stolen by Sheriff, or reduced by Shanyu crits, or a polyp goes up, or well, not a polyp because it's not a kingdom villain, or Namari does something with reduction, or kills something rather, Frollo gets empowered. Frollo empowers super fast. Let's see if we can get a proper match. I'm running Blue Fairy Magic and Mufasa's Spirit, by the way, and the reason is that if you run Kingdom Villains, you'll generally still get outsped by the hero and Ursula combo, and then it's all about coming back into the game. You start behind, so to say, so you need to catch up and get back into it. Alright, so here we can just poly Baymax. Now let's see. I don't want to empower Ursula, but I'm still going to do this. I'm usually very afraid of the empowered Ursula, and then I just realize every time you kill an eel and you have a Shanyu lead, you can get offense up on your villains, which is really significant. Let's see if we can get Ursula down. Probably gonna miss. Or not. There we go. Again, if they can't attack your Frollo, who cares? Let's get rid of the Sheriff. There was the 50%, and we're just gonna use our follow here with Namari. She's blinded, but if she misses, the cooldown gets reset for every miss, or evade rather. So that's the cooldown reset already, and she can still finish off the eel and barely misses the bubbles. Every time something dies, your villain kingdom teammates have a chance to get the offense up. Or actually any kingdom character has that chance, it's not specifically the villains, and it's from the Shanyu leadership if you have it upgraded. So obviously it's looking rather good right now. There's still a chance we lose to the Mickey, so let's not have that happen. Ursula here. Let's get this back to Namari as fast as possible. Give her some speed meter. This is probably going to miss. We have a lot of luck here. We're going to use our eels on Mickey because we need that offense up. Gone. There we go. Frollo just empowered. Let's see who's gonna kill. He permits us a turn with a good old Frollo. Alright, so we're going to summon some archers here. Sheriff steals from the archers immediately. Let's actually, for the lols, give him offense up and see how much damage we can do. Doesn't say how much damage it does on the abilities, that's rather annoying. But let's throw a tomato in his face. And there you have the tenacity done. Let's headbutt Bubbles. Still blinded, sad days. Now there's a chance we're going to kill the Mickey here and we are in slight trouble, but these are definitely gonna die. No crits, defense up. So we're good. Alright, let's do the arrow ability. Not much damage. And apparently very low chance to do continuous damage. It feels like triggers. It's It's basically trigger, right? Now I'm curious if harmful effects ever get good enough that you want to run. Alright, let's look at this ability first. 22k crit. No problem. So you saw that Frollo had Smite the Wicked back up. And this was his third turn. And let's take a look. So I think there's a bug right now. Let me show you. So I have the feeling that... Where is it? Passive Hellfire. What it's supposed to do is when Cloud Frollo gains 10 stacks of Fury, clans gain speed, blah blah blah, grant 2 magic to smite the wicked and the judge's command. But this either gives back 4 magic, or he gains the magic back every 5 stacks of Fury rather than every 10. Because you see, Smite the Wicked has 4 magic requirement. I used it on his first turn. On his second turn, I used the Arches, and on his third turn, I used Smite the Wicked again. So maybe I just don't know how magic works. So let's see. So first turn you put it at 0. The next turn it goes to 1. No, it's correct. Yeah, it's not bugged. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to show you from the Frollo gameplay. I'm going to be streaming him some more the next couple of days. It's one of my favorite villains. His art direction, his art style is perfect. The abilities are great. I really wish his arches were a little bit better, but I don't think they serve the purpose of doing a lot of damage. They're there to die for your Hades. They're there to put Tenacity down in raids. They're there to just be an extra body, maybe charge up your spells a bit faster when they die. There are more uses to the spell than you might think. So all in all, Frollo is going to be a really good and essential part of Kingdom Villains in the near future. He's really squishy at start 3, but you already saw that if you don't play against the top meta, he's going to get his damage and skills off before he even gets a hit. Thank you for watching, and see you around in game.